hands of Kirk. But here they are with a Fanny right out of the gate, despite
Right
the
on
Cho
cue.
being open for Aurora.
My goodness. Quick check, Renmar. How many times has this Fanny of King Kong lost? Is there any?
I need a bit of time to double check those stats.
But one thing for sure is I'm sure he has more maniacs than game lost with this Fanny specifically. But right now, Aurora answers right back with Edwards Eden that has been quite hot yesterday, going up against Falcons AP Brennan. Of course, Renegade this time will be rocking the Gatatkacha.
That Fanny is actually only 2 for 3. There's a reason why teams don't want to give that Fanny to King Kong. As much as possible, they want to take it away from his hands.
It's deadly, right?
Very deadly.
He's had a game where it went 7-0 in the first few minutes of a game.
Yeah.
And teams barely recover from that.
Whoa!
And now, Kelra very happy to pick up that 1-1 as well.
These are very greedy picks from Fnatic Onyx Philippines. We saw it yesterday against Falcons AP Bren when they pick up lineups where they show their main core damage dealers right away. Teams will be able to counter it. Let's see how it's going to fare though. This feels like a confidence pick coming from Kelra, telling coach, you know what, go ahead and give me the 1-1. There's no one in the lane right now that can mess me up.
Yeah. So right now, do you go for a Doming hero now? Because Doming's been playing Harith 2 straight times. And one of his most winningest heroes, the Moskov, is still available. Can go head-to-head when it comes to going up against the 1-1. And in terms of macro, can also do the split pushes that Aurora is also known for. But again, the presence of the Fanny makes it hard to play a Moskov.
It might force you into some really interesting picks. Well, it's going to be hard for them to actually lock in those heroes that can stop the Fanny right now, since Gatot isn't really targeted. And the Edith is kind of hit or miss against it.
Yeah, honestly, Moskov into Fanny into Moskov, it's an almost always sure thing right now. With how well Fanny pressures the side lane, the long lane away from the major objective, Moskov also does that. And usually you see Moskov's fearless in terms of just managing the side waves, and they can just hope for the best and they will survive through the Fanny onslaught, which we have seen. We've also seen Fannies be hesitant to go up against a Moskov who's just split pushing, and sometimes he'd rather just focus around the Lord and hoping that the Moskov doesn't hit his ultimate so that he can join in the team fight. So very classic pickup here for Aurora this season to get that Moskov right away after seeing the Fanny.
And for Fnatic Onyx, do you take out one of the assassins that can go head-to-head with Aurora? The Bane.
Take away with the Bane.
It's a great foresight here, honestly. It feels like they're getting ready to just be a big death ball here with a Fanny on the side. It feels so deadly for FNOP right now.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid any heroes that will disrupt that death ball here.
If you're Aurora, if you're trying to clean up the picks of Kirk, do you go for a kind of an Arlot ban? Or what else? A Terizla?
I think they might consider a Cho ban, honestly. Because they might park on EXP Cho up against an Edith, who does fare much better. So it's going to be difficult for Aurora if they end up with a losing matchup in terms of map presence in the EXP lane, because they need Edward to be present around. So they'd rather take out the focus instead. Cho later for Kirk is available, but then he can still go into the Terizla, and his, dare I say, very wide hero pool this season with 13 unique heroes already played in that position.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to ban out anyone from FNOP completely with the amount of heroes that they've already exhibited here in the regular season as well as the playoffs.
If the motto for Fnatic Onyx Philippines is greed is good, wink wink if you know what I'm talking about,
999.
999, then Kirk might actually end up falling into the CC in the XP lane. So it could be a CC or CC Cho or CC Terizla.
Alright. So that's kind of, again, you're expecting maybe a wombo combo. Terizla is also viable here for FNOP. Again, very little answers available for Aurora if they go for that route.
Yeah, you still have the Hayabusa though for Demon kahit.
Yeah, Hayabusa Julian as his next best picks right now in the jungle.
I haven't seen the Hayabusa versus Fanny in a long time. I miss that interaction where the Hayabusa just rides on the Fanny.
Yeah. Yeah, with the shadow kill.
Right?
Locked in.
Let's see if they're gonna think about that. Right now, Hayabusa has fallen favor a lot of these players. Sana, alright.
Sana for the team fight could mess up the Tig. Yeah, they need something like a Joe here.
Interesting.
If I'm Fnatic Onyx Philippines, don't fight the slow front to back. Make your Tigreal be the frontliner fighting slow front to back. Have an EXP laner that can break formations. That's why even high loss would be. I'll double think about the high loss. Again, I already mentioned the heroes I want to see for Kirk here. Cho, CC, Terizla. And then for the mid lane, they can just go ahead and Vexana into the Valentina
right.
into the Edith.
I'll +1 on the high lows because I feel like the lineup of Aurora is already super slow anyway. You can slow them down even further.
Yeah.
Because the Vexana is going to have to walk in. Same with the Moscow with Edith and the Gatot. Gatot can jump in, but that's the only one they have for backline access.
Ooh, they go for Arlot instead.
Eve is correct, but yeah, Arlot's the choice here.
The Valentina. Alright. Still, in terms of activeness in the map, Arlot has a good chance against Edith.
Yeah, so right now, Demon Kite, what do you go for? Do you go for your Nolan? Do you go for Hayabusa? Or if you want to go for utility, there's still the Alpha.
Yeah, they're thinking about like map presence, speed of rotation. I think they default into, if not the Julian, then the Nolan. But the Nolan up against the Tigreal.
Oh, that's good luck, right? You can't really take out the Tigreal. The Tigreal feels like it blocked out so many junglers.
Yeah, you see
for Demon Kite.
Yeah, exactly. You see Rora stumped right now. That Bane ban also kind of. It's just a decision.
Link. For some reason, I didn't think about the Link here.
Okay. All right. I get it.
It's a sword fight. It's a sword fight in the jungle.
So big sword fight. But knowing that they're up against the Arlot, that could be a lot of pressure into their jungle. There's a chance that the Demon Kite might have a hard time hitting level 4 here, but they might need to play defensive early on.
Right now for Aurora, there's still a high chance of them dominating the early game again. Edward has been performing well with the Edith, and if they continue their early game pressure, especially towards the XP lane, and take control of the mid lane, which we all know if you have an Edith, it's easy for you to dominate the mid lane, then Aurora can actually score against Fnatic Onyx.
These are all default heroes for Aurora. Let's see if that's gonna fare, how that's gonna fare against a lineup that's very sharp and steady here for FNOP. Casters, let's go in the battlefield.
Here's the open. Aurora isn't out of tricks just yet. Game number 3, and still not on the board as Fnatic Onyx Philippines push on to match point. Possibly after this.
Possibly. They gotta get to that point. And you know what? So far, man, even for our viewers that might have missed the previous 2 games, King Kong's gotta be controlled, and the fact that they win with this Fanny right away, that's a statement here.
More than just King Kong needs to be controlled. They gotta make sure that whatever King Kong is planning for the comeback is accounted for. Make sure that after the 10-minute, 12-minute mark, King Kong remains under control.
Because remember, they didn't even trade turtles in the previous game. Like, they were just
all in,
moving around the map the way they wanted to, and looking at the emblems here, they're gonna want to do the same thing. I like this time too that you see Super Prince run a war cry emblem here.
That's a tailored pick. Only few mages would actually want Warcry.
Yeah.
So here, telegraphing Super Prince, he wants to fight. He wants to deal a lot of damage very fast and get it that early game advantage. Spike up in the mid to late when he has items. Turn him into a right-clicking mage.
And Domeng, Kalra, this has been the story in the gold lane. Throughout the series, these two just kind of duking it out. Domeng, already had to use that Purify early on, then that's just what they want to do. Both of them want to get the upper hand earlier if they can. You can see Brusco visiting up here top side. Demon Kite too. Kelra's pretty low.
He's dead.
Tempest Blades, goodbye Kelra. First blood in the hands of Demon Kite.
Smiling Demon, starting hot early on. Not even 2 minutes. Turtle still preparing to spawn lower quarter. Let's talk about that XP lane matchup. Arlot versus Edith. This is Kirk's old flame, by the way.
Yep.
In his debut season with Minana, in season 12,
Back when Arlot fit all roles.
season
almost.
13. This was the one here that made us all just stand in awe. It's like, wow, Kirk knows how to play Arlot.
And he showcased it. What was it, game 1, right? Game 1, he brought it out and made it work here. So, still, he's pretty close to that level 4. Should have it by the time they actually commit to this turtle. Super Prince grabbing his own Primal Wrath,
Oh,
so they'll work through it.
the perfect Ultra steal. Some would argue, yeah, maybe you should steal the Eternal Guard. No, Super Prince wants this. This is the perfect pickup for the ult since he has Warkrights. It's so good.
Which is funny because remember before he ran Brave Smite,
Yep.
right? So like,
Well, the many different flavors of Super Prince's Valentina. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
likes to kind of approach it that way, and it looks like, for now, they'll just kind of ignore the turtle while they go ahead and look for something else. Part of this also is just, again, having those level 4s available. Demon Kai on the top. That implosion's not going to catch him.
From a different angle, Demon Kite forced to use Tempest of Blades. From a different angle, an implosion would actually catch a Ling mid-air. You did this earlier today.
I did this earlier, yeah, when we were playing. It works pretty good, and I think that's why when we were in the draft, you saw the facial expression of Demon Kite, as they were trying to work through it and figure out,
knows.
what are they going to take? They know that Tigreal's over there, but you're more so just relying on that skill, that mechanics that Demon Kite has shown us before to have the upper hand.
The instincts. Because at this point, he knows that it's a cure. It's not even prevention. Like, he knows it's going to suck when he comes into the range of the Brusco's Tigreal. And that was one key situation where he was forced to use his ult defensively. Now the turtle started up once more. Lower quarter. This is a delayed turtle, man.
This is probably about as delayed as it gets because both junglers, they want to just make sure they have their purple buffs. And both of them right now, they just like, all right, let's ignore it.
Shades of Demon Kite's old team, RSG. A rotation that they made popular in 2023, the delayed Lord Turtle take, where they made sure that the buffs were secured first. And now look at this, King Kong.
You're just staring at him.
Whoa!
Oh, that's enough damage to come through with the cutthroat as well. Might be looking for more on Yue under the turret, King Kong. Whoa! Oh, does he get away? No! Renegade will get him that one cable off, but still, that's 2 kills now for King Kong.
The beast is slain. But I think he's happy with what he got away with anyways. But I think he'd be happier if he survived. What was that? Did he miss the angle of one cable?
That's what it looked like. But I think even then, I'm not sure if that would have, if he still would have escaped.
Yeah, he would have ended up underneath the turret anyways.
Yeah, and Renegade was right there. Probably would have been able to get the unbreakable taunt off, I'm assuming. But nonetheless, it gives a double to King Kong. And hey, there's still no turtle taken.
That's right. This might as well be the second turtle here.
At this point, yeah. They might start this one up. King Kong working on the orange buff. Meanwhile, Demon Knight rotating up top.
Mr. Consistent's first item, the antique cuirass. It should help in stopping King Kong from doing the stang, even Kirk. Like, Kirk hurts,
Yeah,
right? If you're just clashing swords with him randomly, and then some way, somehow, King Kong joins the fray, like, that should help Edward stay tougher. Super Prince, though, picking up how often you're a mid laner, how often does a Valentina pick up a Starlium site?
Super Prince is on, so let him cook, right?
What?
Let's just. Oh, hold on!
Doming!
Doming in trouble. King Kong again. Cable's gonna come through. Don't tell me, Doming. Wow, he actually survived. I don't know how that happened. King Kong not get the angle he's looking for, but here's the final slash. Eternal Guard as well. Finally, a turtle's gonna be taken. Demon Kite will get it. Now still looking for more. Kirk won't get away. King Kong jumping under the turret, clears that tier 1 of the mid out. So they'll trade it. Finally, Eternal goes to Aurora, and they get a turret here in the hands of FNUP.
Make it 2, because Keller was also working on that top lane tier 1. So that puts FNOP slightly up, because again, I think turrets are more valuable than turtles in the grander scheme of things. 6.5 minutes in, Fnatic on it, constantly playing the map. Aurora taking what fights come their way. Back to the man of the hour here, Super Prince. What was that? Game 1, it was a Brave Smite.
Yep.
Game 3, now it's a Warcry. He's building Starlium sights. What's he on his way to? I reckon that is a glowing wand.
Could be, yeah.
Dude, Super Prince, what he's up to with this Valentina is just pure anarchy.
It's gotta be
There's
a combination, though, with taking the Primal Wrath, right? Like, that's what I'm assuming here.
He's basically cosplaying as an Edith.
Yes, that's the perfect way to
That's
put it.
him.
Hey, the ultimate is called IMU, so it works.
He is Edith.
He is Edith at this point.
Renegade.
Final slash. Brennan J gonna try to jump away. Will escape, utilizing that Avatar of the Guardian. Meanwhile, purple buff worked on by Demon Kite. And again, this is going to be a game where only one turtle gets to go to a team, as the Lord is coming up here in about 30 seconds.
Aurora scored more kills. Aurora took the first turtle, the only turtle in this game. And the rotation can actually, the lineup can actually rotate fast. They're capable of that, given the Ling, given the Baton, given the Moscow. But is this not such a far cry from their performance against Falcons AP Brent last night? They buried the defending world champions. Oh, King Kong in trouble. All right, it's fine. They buried the defending world champions. Oh, come on, King Kong, let me finish.
King Kong doesn't want to let you finish. And look at the response here.
This is
he
why.
bought enough time. Brennan J goes in with the Unbreakable. He jumps on out. And that'll be enough time to allow also Domeng to get to safety.
Impressive work, Aurora. High game sense. Fnatic Onyx, they tried.
Yeah.
Good setup.
Good
It's
rotation.
Again, a mobile lineup. Aurora can control the map, but what is it? I don't... Did King Kong get in their heads?
Whoa! The damage on the bottom, Domeng! That's what they have to watch out for from King Kong on the Fanny.
Is it gonna come down to Demon Kite babysitting Domeng? Because there's nobody who can protect them.
And the panel talked about this in the draft, that the Moskov was the option, but you're almost a sitting duck against a Fanny, and that's what happened there. So that's Lord secured as well for FNOP, and now this is where they put the pressure on the resources of Demon Kai here. Purple buff can be worked on.
King Kong did retreat.
They're gonna rely on it. Implosion's gonna be used. Spear destruction as well. They're gonna break out in the fight. Kirk could be in trouble. Final slash. Demon Kite's gone, but they're clapping back here. King Kong will cable on out after he takes out Renegade.
Kelra.
2-for-2 trade, still the mid lane. Kelra. The spear has to be careful. Backs off, and Super Prince as well.
Fnatic Onyx looking for more after that pick off on Doming down bottom. Looking to capitalize, gets clapped back on by Aurora, who have a respectable kit, mind you. They have great responses, and here in this fight, they got a solid AOG, a solid EG, but the fact is, there was just way too much CC in the paint for Fnatic Onyx to let Demon Kite do his thing. Like, this is not an ideal
King Kong.
King Kong!
Oh, he is in
Basic
trouble.
attack.
That's a little basic attack, but it's gonna fall off there. Able to escape, but as you were saying,
He's faster than a projectile!
he's faster. He should be, right? I mean, you're cabling. You've seen that show. They're pretty fast.
3D maneuver here, it's ridiculous. What I'm trying to say is Demon Kite has to go through so many layers. Has to go through a Tigreal, an Arlet, a Valentina that's turned into an Edith, and then the threat of a jump from Kelra. Like, he has to think of all of those things and allocate the Tempest of Blades in a beneficial way. Now, Kirk in trouble.
Renegade goes in with a taunt. Not sure if this is the fight they're going to want. Final slash not going to land as well. Renegade taking quite a few shots, and he'll disengage with a jump again. Meanwhile, King Kong takes the purple buff, waiting patiently to see who come here. He's going to get spotted out, though, so just takes the buff for now.
So far, I'm counting about 50-50. Renegade casting the DAG, a defensive Avatar of the Guardian. Like, that's mainly what he uses it for. But that might be what he needs.
Doming's in trouble here. Too much to handle. As that full force of FNOP comes on top.
Doming is down. This is not a drill. Doming died twice, yes, but in my head I can already see 3 or 4 more deaths in the very same way. Unless they figure something out, unless they find a way to give space on the map. But that is easier said than done, especially if Fnatic ought to just pop all these holy shields, man.
Yeah, who do you send to protect Doming? Again, he even purified out of that. But you're just overloaded by so much that even so, you can't really escape that. So, is Doming just is his only option to just sit in the base?
That seems to be the story here. You can purify stacks on the 1-1. You can purify from the many setups from Kirk and Brusco. But at the end of the day, King Kong just comes in. Purify what?
Yeah.
In the air, if Kelra does fly.
Oh,
Demon Kite. Whoa.
Look at the damage coming out. Again, another defensive AOG going to be used. And this is getting a little dire here. for Aurora, as it looks like the lights are really dimming in this game number 3 for them.
Sun's about to set, 12 and a half minutes in. And Fnatic have scored the first Lord, yes, but they're taking their time with this one. They want to make sure that it's almost impossible for Aurora to contest, or they have a clear take. And Demon Kite.
There we go again.
Flank here.
Gonna use it. He's gonna jump in. Super Prince as well. Demon Kite going in with Tempest of Blades. Will be able to find Super Prince. Could be looking for more. They get the knock up here through as Kirk gonna fall. And they still have Kelra, King Kong, and Brusco to face off against the Lord.
Well, I'll be damned. The first time in a while, Aurora are actually
Where's he going?
3v5.
They're gonna jump in. Kelra! He is gone! And Rora finds a little bit of hope, and the light shines a little bit brighter at this point of the game.
There's an ember of flickering, Aurora are back in this game. 4 for none, plus a Lord. Did Fnatic not respect the output of Aurora? Did they hedge on the fact that Demon Kite was not going to catch King Kong?
Oh, I guess not, and with that too, they've been waiting to do this. Take the purple buff from King Kong, so they have a massive swing now in their favor here, Leo, for this Lord push in.
Usually, it's at this precipice, this crossroads, that Fnatic just somehow snap into killer mode, into end game. But now it's Aurora who's in that position. 1,000 gold ahead, the map turning red, and for the first time in a while, King Kong has to play defensive again. Aurora looking to clear up these lanes. They're hunting. I think they're looking for King Kong.
Trying to find him right here. King Kong, is he going to be able to escape?
Spotted.
He gets stopped for now, and they won't be able to catch him any further. But right now, Aurora playing to get these turrets down, to get some space to work with, because remember, Domeng has had a hell of a time trying to push these side lanes in because of King Kong.
And now, I think Domeng has gone through the tough part. I think Domeng is in a better place right now. There's an SOD thrown in, threatening the skill. A little too dangerous. Aurora's gonna choke out these resources.
Together. Part of that too, why Domeng feels a little bit more comfortable, as well as he did get that Wind of Nature. So even if King Kong shows up, at least he has an option to play into it.
That's right. Safe from King Kong, safe from Kelra. He only really has to worry about a rogue final slash from Kirk, or like Super Prince coming in from a weird angle. Those are the only real threats, the only natural predators to Domeng's Moscow right now. The purple in jeopardy. Aurora choking out King Kong. There's a final slash.
Slash. AOG going to be used. Not going to be able to find the connection. Eternal Guard drop down to Kirk. In trouble. As Domeng will get that one. And again, Rora will find another pickoff. And they force it down right now through the mid lane. SOD going to be dropped down. They just want this mid turret. It's one hit away. It finally drops down, and that looks like what Rora's going to get.
Tranquilo, say the Auroras. Slowly but surely, there's a Lord spawning in 30 seconds. They'd rather play for that than force anything that may be a regrettable call. Checking out these items right now. Doming up by about 1,000 gold, so he's a fully built Moskov, on his way to being a barefoot Moskov.
Oh no.
Oh no, King Kong. Do they know? They don't hear this, no?
Yeah, they don't hear. They don't see the thunder. They're all right.
Oh,
But
now they do.
now they see that he's there. They'll make their way to the Lord here, because that's the prize for Rora. They have to secure this one. You know, FNOP is going to want to fight, make them work for it. When a crown picked up by Renegade.
It was a 12-minute drought. It was a very difficult early to mid for Aurora. And now that they're in control, they gotta do this right. Brusco coming in. King Kong from the east, going for the flank. So is Kelra. They spot him.
Kelra zoned out. King Kong taking a ton of hits. Spear Destruction won't land. Demon Kite jumping back towards the Lord. They just want to be able to secure the objective. And DK will get it. And they'll get Kirk as well. And now FNOP once again backs against the wall on the defense.
The Northern Lights are now up 5,000 gold. 17 minutes in, King Kong starving, struggling to take his purple, fails. And Demon Kite now, once again, I see the smile back on his face. Naisu, I am impressed with Aurora's micro mechanics. For 2 or 3 times now, they have overloaded the young buck Kirk, Did you see how even in the smallest of alleys in the jungle, they're just able to dodge his final slash?
They've been maneuvering it, and it's impressive because it's without a Raphael that they had last game with the movement speed.
It's as if they still do. And there's the SOD and the Lord marching in mid. In comes Demon Kite.
Gonna jump in. Kirk already using the final slash. Comes the blades as well. Two Lords on the field. Still gonna be working through it. Implosion not gonna be enough as well. Even with the crossbow of Tang, it's not enough as Rora finally gets on the board for the series. Now 2-1.
And we have a ball game. Aurora taking their first here in this best of 7. And how perfect is that? It happened after the 13-minute mark. They held on, Joseph. They held on.
It was a long ride, and I feel like especially for Domeng, man, that finally he's like, all right, I can finally fire back at King Kong. Great response.
It's Championship Sunday here in the MPL Arena. Let's see what our analysts at the Infinix Game Combined think of Game 3.
You know what? I got me some doubts earlier on, but I didn't know we'd get Championship Sunday like this. We got a ball game.
Yep, ball game indeed, and coming off of the back of Aurora being able to punish a Fnatic Onyx Philippines overheat. Strong punish, and Renegade coming in the clutch with clutch taunts. That two-man taunt that he got, that was the turnaround.
Yeah, during that Lord. Prior to that, they were able to take down King Kong and Keller, I believe, because King Kong wasn't there during that fight. But clutch to the hitman. It's hard to pull off a taunt CC onto highly mobile heroes for the side of Fnatic Onyx. But if anyone can do it, it's gonna be this man, Renegade.
It was funny because I could have sworn they got the early game there, especially with Super Prince going full on Edith mode, locked in the Starlium side. And there you go, these late game team fights are all what it's all about for Aurora.
That was a turnaround moment, the moment that Fnatic Onyx Philippines whiffed their initiation there with Aurora starting things off, and that two-man taunt by Renegade coming in the clutch to catch off the 1-1 and the Fanny. Those were the two main team fights that really turned things around for Aurora, and since they were playing from an uncomfortable position where it's harder for them to initiate, where they were playing back, it was harder for the 1-1.
And if not just to commend your energy, there was a stellar performance also for Edward. There were a lot of times wherein Kirk's final slash was hitting, and whenever the flicker final slash was going to be casted, it was a go signal for Edward to go in with the Earth Shatter flicker combination. So it was a whole team effort for the side of Aurora, and not to mention Demon Kite's huge plays, huge solo kills.
Honestly, up until the very end as well. Like, they were like forcing it to the victory.
Yeah, after the first jungle rotation, Fnatic Onyx Philippines needed to take control of the game and dominate because they have abysmal wave clear. Kirk has a concussive blast. Brusco as well. They needed a little bit more utility to help themselves clear the waves. When it got to the point where it was just a full-on push, you saw it was so difficult for Fnatic Onyx Philippines to clear out all the minions.
And this was coming from the fact that Fnatic had a good start. Who could forget, after Demon Kite picked off Keller for the first blood, there was an invade coming in from King Kong and Brusco. With the implosion play, they got 2 kills plus denying the orange buff. But despite all that, I think you said it during the lineup, that Fnatic Onyx lineup was kind of too greedy. So when it comes to the macro gameplay, I think they were focused more on kills instead of the objectives that Aurora was clearly dominating during the whole game.
And to be fair, Fnatic Onyx Philippines has won with those kills previously. Like, just to overload them with all the damage. Sometimes, the opponent gets a little dizzy, stunned up. That didn't happen that much here.
Yeah, little by little, I feel like the Fnatic Onyx Philippines making bolder draft decisions. Aurora is getting to read them just a little bit more. Even though you saw the hesitation on their end to pick that Ling, after they survived the onslaught of Fnatic Onyx Philippines having a 5k gold lead, once they were starting to punish, it proved yet again the statement of many professional players in the Philippines that this meta is the meta where you cannot make mistakes. You commit an error and it's so punishing. Fnatic Onyx Philippines committed 2 big errors and Aurora punished them.
And not just errors, there were also missed chances for King Kong to actually have solo kills. I think there were 2 instances, even with Doming, So I know a lot of people have a lot to say for this game.
Well, you know, two people who have a lot to say. My bros there on the solo analyst, dual analyst. Throw it over.
Timing has never been more crucial for Aurora MLBB as they take game number 3. Magandang buhay, welcome to the Analyst Stand. My name is Anyanara. I am joined here by my idol, Wolf, as we try to explain what happened in game number 3 between both of these teams. And as we see, or it was Fnatic Onyx Philippines that took control of the
Yes.
earlier stages of the match. What was the turning point for you,
Yeah.
Wolf?
So that was the second Lord timing where we saw that the Fanny, which was King Kong, tried to poke the Moskov in the bottom lane. So for Fanny, for all of those who are that familiar about the Fanny, when you are that deep, it's difficult for you to get into the Lord area. So
Yeah.
when King Kong did that play against the Moskov, probably he could have taken down the Moskov, but then again, it's Dominic, so he survived. And the thing is, the punish was very instantaneous coming out from Aurora. They bursted down the Lord. They took two heroes with the combination of Edward and Renege's crowd control, and then they took the Lord. Eventually, took the map afterwards.
Yeah, and when we see there, it was the combination of, I think it was Rene J's taunt and Edward's
Shatter, yeah.
Earth Shatter that made it possible for them to be able to look at the Lord. Which is why when we look at the crowd control time, there was a point in time wherein it was Edward that had the most highest crowd control here by the 16th minute mark.
Yeah, if you're gonna be looking at that, even the Moskov had a lot of crowd control.
Yeah.
There was a time where he was landing the stuns, which is, by the way, very difficult. There was a time where we utilized the Moskov against the Fanny. Like if you recall, like around season 9, season 10, that is the pocket pick. Now it is standard. However, if you're a Fanny user, because you're so used to facing the Moskov, you know how to outplay it. So Doming finding his rhythm when it comes to stunts in the latter portions of the game erased all of the early game problems that they've had.
Yeah, and we were talking about how timing has been crucial for Aurora MLBB, and you've been talking about timing all across the games that we've had, Wolf. So this Wind of Nature pickup 13 minutes into the match, and then later
Ooh.
on, the immortality from Doming ensured that he will survive.
Which was also the timing that the Fanny went
Yep.
to the bottom lane around the 14 minute. Maybe, I mean, we didn't really actually see what happened there, like
Yeah.
the micro that happened between King Kong as well as Doming. But the fact that he has Wind of Nature at 30 minutes 44 seconds kind of meant that King Kong may have over-calculated the strength of the Fanny. We know for sure that he's a masterful Fanny player, but Doming surviving in that bottom lane meant the world for Aurora.
Yeah, and that was the crucial moment for Aurora MLBB that later on enabled them to secure this win against Fnatic Onyx Philippines. There will be no sweeps for today. That was interesting to me. But then again, this has been Anjanara and Wolf for game number 3. But for now, let's head on over back to our panel.
No sweeps indeed.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Big ol' reliable here. That Wind of Nature did save Doming.
Yeah.
A lot there. And again, King Kong, rare time that he overcalculated the Fanny. Yeah.
That decision to go for the Wind of Nature instead of the Malefic Roar first was so crucial for that game.
That's right. And you know what? We haven't really mentioned that much. Look at these Minana boys. Look at where the Minana boys, the NXP boys are right now. You can't really help but look back sometimes and see how far they've come.
Yeah, the former members of Next Play EVOS, Minana EVOS, headlining in the grand final. Miles, Kirk, Brusco, Coach Hayes, Doming, and of course, Renege had a long time stint with Next Play / EVOS.
So you know these guys are cut from the same cloth and now gonna represent the Philippines for M6. Well deserved, and their journey, of course, is what do you call this? Truth that perseverance and commitment to your passion can bring you anywhere.
That's right. Idol Banu was to be very, very proud.
Yeah, for sure. And, I just gotta say, like, they're cut from the same underdog cloth, but wait, I think we have a friend joining us?
Whoa, we got
Really?
just in. We got a friend here, international, and we're gonna talk to this
Okay.
guy. You know who it is. You all love this guy. He happens to be there every M series. Gideon!
Gideon, what's up? And also to the English panel, that's Rockhart, that's Renmar, and that's Ingan over there, who's not bald, by the way. Too bad. Okay, we're gonna be moving forward now. Gideon, man, it's so nice to see you. I just want to know, all right? I know the playoffs are still about to happen in your region. Who is your pick to represent Malaysia in the M6 World Championship?
I think this one's going to be pretty easy. I think, SRG is going to be an easy favorite to lead into this time for M6. We're pretty confident with our representative. In terms of our second seed, I honestly have no clue. I wish I could give you a clearer answer, but our regular season has told us otherwise.
You know what? SRG is deservedly, right, your top pick. But what makes SRG like so good right now? I mean, we saw them in MSC, but right now, how are they?
As of right now, it feels like they're holding back, which is I don't know whether some people are going to feel like it's they are overachieving, or whether they really are worried about other teams outside in the world. Personally, for me, I think they haven't reached their full stride just yet, and I think no team has really pushed them into that corner as well.
So for the first time, Gideon, in 6 years, the World Championship will implement a Swiss format for the group stage. How do you think this will affect the competitiveness of the competition?
I think that realistically, this just means that a lot of organizations are going to have to invest more in their, especially their coaching staff at this point. I think it's a good and bad thing, right? Because you don't really know who your next opponent is going to be, so you're very dependent on your pre-preparation for these games. You're also really dependent on your coach and analysts to do their job. So as much as you're going to need them, they're also going to take the blame for a lot of it in this Swiss format.
Oh yeah, that's so true. Gideon, I just want to say it's an honor to talk to someone who should be nominated for a Best Actor award after what you showed in the group format reveal for the M6 World Championship. But gotta ask you, based on the MPLPH Grand Final so far, and I know you've been keeping tabs all throughout the season, Fnatic Onyx PH, Aurora MLBB, how do you like Selangor Red Giants' chances against those two teams?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like we've got slightly better odds against Aurora. I think that Fnatic right now looks kind of disgusting. I do think that generally people are going to be keeping a very close eye towards them. I think we have a chance. I just don't know what the percentile is. I just know that at the very least we'll do slightly better against Aurora. It's very small margins.
I see it. That is valid. Midnight, you have a question there.
All right, this is not a question. My idol, my friend, my sensei. I don't want to put you in a spot, but I kind of have to. It's tradition, Have you been watching, our segments with Mara?
The face-off. Are you aware of the face-off?
With the fans? Yes,
Yes.
I am aware.
All right. Good. Now, it's time for you to shine. As a representative of Malaysia against all the world, specifically Philippines, Gideon, ano ang palag mo?
Oh, this one's rough. Ah, man, I hate this part. Okay. I'll tell you what. I will say they've got the chemistry with them. They've got everything they need to be the best, of course. Everybody's going to doubt them, but at the end of the day, even if they have a Malaysian flag on that stage, I still believe the minds behind it, and a couple of players too, still Filipino blood.
He's right, though, right?
Yeah, he's right.
Where's the
Gideon,
lie?
I have a question, Gideon.
Okay.
Yes.
Gideon, am I welcome in Malaysia for M6? And if so, what food are you gonna let us try out there in Malaysia?
Oh boy, there's a lot of good ones. Okay, yes, you are absolutely invited. You are absolutely allowed to come along to Malaysia.
cookout.
We can house you, no problem. That shouldn't be an issue, for the tournament. In terms of food, it depends whether it's non-halal or halal stuff. We're a very diverse country.
Yeah.
We got plenty of options. Maybe if you are lucky, we could get you a good old lamb curry. Good old classic.
Love it.
Great, Gideon. It was nice speaking with you, and hopefully we see you soon again. Last year you were here. Hopefully next year we'll be there. This year. Yeah. So now, any final messages to everyone, and you can invite to Filipino fans to watch MPL Myanmar, Malaysia playoffs.
Yeah, has been working really, really hard this year for M6. You know, good job to all the teams. Good luck to both Fnop and as well as Aurora. You guys are putting one hell of a show here today for everybody as well as the audience. To the Filipino fans, you know, go easy on us. Keep it chill. Our chat is, you know, still young. We would love your viewership, especially if you want to watch a Malaysian MLBB. Maybe get a little bit of a taste of something else, something different. We're entertaining for a good reason. And honestly, thank you so much for having me on board. My name is Gideon Q, and shout out to both the Filipino desk and as well as the English desk.
Yo, Gideon, it is so nice to have you here, man. I'm sure the English panel shared the same sentiments. We kind of missed the fact that the times where you were wearing like 10 jerseys and you were taking them off one by one. Unfortunately, we don't get to see that right now. But yeah, hopefully next time, man. Hopefully next time. We'll see you again. Also, you guys in the English panel, all right? Bye.
See ya, bye-bye.
I miss Gideon.
I
want to
miss
see
him
this.
too.
I want to hang out with that guy again.
Yeah, for a second I thought he was gonna do something absolutely crazy for his palag, like start taking off like all multiple jerseys.
Maybe
have
the
a,
pants this time.
Yeah, have a cutout, a cram, or innocent. I don't know. Or the with the pants.
Right?
Did you just say the pants?
Yeah, he did the jerseys already. Do the pants next.
Oh yeah, I mean a lot of teams have their own personal joggers, so
Right?
sure.
The
Yeah.
joggers. There you go. So, again, so fun to have Gideon Q. Always there in the M series. And again, just so much action, so much to watch out for. Silang Red Giants, similar to Onyx right now,
Yeah.
guys, right?
Yeah.
And
For Gideon, you know,
Yeah.
even if they're representing Malaysia, the minds of some players are still Filipino-blooded.
he admitted it. They're not shy about that. They're very open with that, right? So again, all of that just makes it so much more exciting for M6, especially since they will be hosting the whole tournament.
Yeah.
So right now, throwing it over to the MPL Arena, and of course they are looking for the smart gameplay pose, and the guy who won, one of the guys who won the previous game, game number 3, that's Renny J. Copy that, guys.
Hey!
This guy also has the right jersey for it. But again, maybe just a little bit more. The camera's looking for a little bit more.
Needs more
there.
fire. Needs
This
more
guy's
excitement,
got
like this
fire.
guy.
Look at this guy.
If the kid doesn't win, I'm gonna be mad.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but no, of course, this is Renegades' dad.
Has to be right. Come
Yeah.
on. You're
The creator. Yeah, he doesn't need
creator.
There we go. There we go.
creator.
Give it to Renegades' dad, y'all.
there. Look at that.
Yeah!
Of course.
Mr. Barcase, good job.
Let's win it, right? Come on, smart gameplay both. There
There
you
we
go. All right. Who better, right? And we're gonna add in the Index Salon Precious look as well. Why not give it to him as well?
Same.
He looks pretty hot. He's pretty fire. He's on fire, man. And look at that. Look, guys. Men can be hot.
Yeah, I know.
What are you guys talking about?
Okay.
Why are you guys laughing?
Right now we're looking for the freshest face among the fans.
What? Is there anything wrong with what I
Rockstar,
said?
take a minute and just rewind what you said.
He looks pretty hot.
And what the screen was showing.
I will say that again. Renegade's dad's pretty hot, man.
And I agree with you. A lot are agreeing with you. And of course, if Renegade is hot, the creator must
Where
be
did
hot
he get it
also.
from?
Exactly.
Where did he get those jeans from?
Right? The hole that you guys are just digging is getting deeper and deeper. I'm crying.
Where did he get the jeans? There is nothing wrong with my statement. All right? And Index agrees as well.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Bro,
The last time I cried like this on broadcast was in M2.
bro, nothing can change my mind. You guys can snigger all you want.
Yeah, man.
Right now,
the man is,
we are going to... Yeah?
Dude, the good-looking dude.
Stop laughing.
I got you.
The look Renmar gave me when you said
You guys are so bad, you know? Anyway, we are getting to it. We're getting into the match. Roller side selection priority, by the way, is 57.69%. Very nice. And, of course, for Aurora, they got 64%. A big bump up from 50-something before the playoffs started.
Yeah. It has balanced it out a little bit, of course, with the performance of Aurora
Yeah.
so far this playoffs. So it's not. I believe since we are already in the grand final, so we're at the point where we're already in the 4th game.
Yeah.
Plans are out the window. I agree with what Coach Panta said.
Coach Panta said it.
After game 3, your plan's gone. Silch. It's all about adjustment. It's all about, at this point,
what's that word? What's that thing that we use? Improvisation.
Improvisationism.
Gotta improvise now.
You gotta get more theatrical here.
Yeah, and look at that improvisation by Aurora banning out the Edith, the similar thing that they did in game number 2. And this is actually the same banning pattern that we see from Aurora from game number 2 with the Loyi, Fanny, Edith ban. And it's a similar banning pattern as well from Fnatic Onyx Philippines with the Chip Matilda Jushin.
I just really love that at least Aurora is sticking with the Loyi permaban on their side.
Yeah.
I said this last night. I completely have to reinforce it. Keep that Loyi at bay.
Yeah, especially for Super Friends. And so far, Super Friends has been using two heroes. I believe it's Valentina and the Eve. What did Super Friends use for game number 3? It was
The Valentina.
Valentina. Yeah, so still safe, sticking. And now Doming, his most winningest gold laner, has been selected for the side of Aurora. Again, if you didn't catch game number 3, one of the crucial things that Aurora did for that game win was the Wind of Nature play that Doming did in order to stop King Kong from wreaking havoc from that game.
I like this high loss pickup by Aurora, knowing that they're going to be playing into the Salmon Force of the Harith instead of having to face off against a combo of a high loss Gatot and then a Harith. They went ahead and take one of those pieces away. At the same time, sort of like cancels out what the Salmon Force can do. So Fnatic Onyx Philippines, knowing that they're going to be fighting under ultimates, again, is the Super Friends of Eve.
I personally love it.
I'm gonna stand with that. The Super Friends of Eve.
The
undefeated.
Super Friends of Eve. You know what? This is a great pick. Not just because he played it to perfection in the past 2 games, but also because it cancels out the high loss completely. I mean, if they want to go for an engagement, they better be ready to pay the price.
Yeah, especially if ever Fnatic Onyx does perform well in the early game and forces out the glorious pathway to be used defensively. The real world manipulation will be coming in handy for Fnatic.
I think Fnatic Onyx Philippines needs to respect the Zask here. If it's not going to be a Valentina pickup by Aurora, it could be a Zask. The Zask high loss will mess up the formation around Fnatic Onyx Philippines enter Starfield off the Eve. So that would be great. I would still understand if they pick up a Valentina so that they can take away the real world manipulation. And hey, that's not me. That's my cousin. No, we're
It
not
looks
really
like
cousins.
you.
What do you mean it?
I mean, sorry.
He looks like you.
I mean, the cover, you know, the hat.
Yeah.
The hat looks like you, bro.
Oh, the hat looks like me.
Yeah.
All right. Nah, but that's one of my idols. That's Fuego.
Hi, Fuego.
Hogan, Elgin are some of my favorite MLBB creators, by the way.
Yeah,
That's right. They're on site.
live in the streaming
Hopefully,
area.
they're doing a vertical stream.
Yeah.
I am getting our vertical streams on TikTok ready.
Okay, so last ban for Aurora. A while ago, they did go target for King Kong here. So right now, what else do you target for King Kong? I mean, you have the Fanny gone. You took away the Soyo. What's left? The Julian, the Hayabusa.
Funny thing is, the Hayabusa will struggle against this lineup of Aurora, or it looks like it would. Though we still don't see the rumor for Brusco.
Chonky.
It's Chonky, yeah. I think they could actually take out the. They usually put the Gacha on the Rome. They might consider taking out the Cho. Or the take from Brusco.
Tigreal.
Still respectable in this scenario.
Yeah! You called it. And this lineup is really chunky for a reason. Not just because of the high loss, but also because Suyo, you forget, in Immortal form, gets 20% damage reduction.
Yeah.
So the Hayabusa is basically tickling him.
Zask, Valentina, perfect right now.
Alpha's great.
Yeah. For the EXP lane, I think this is actually an EXP lane. Oh no, we don't see the EXP lane matchup just yet. That's a problem.
Yeah.
They can still default and go to Rizla for the chonks.
For the chunks.
Yeah, for the chonks, bro.
You gotta go chonky, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you're already up against an alpha.
Phoveus is still open though for Aurora.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That is great,
And
actually.
that turns off the Cho pickup for Brusco, or that would actually make the Cho pickup much more difficult. Maybe Arlon's out there.
Arlot's. Alright.
Still a valid. Okay.
It's the purple lineup. Hylos just didn't get the memo.
Yeah.
He didn't get dyed up.
Yeah.
Look at that. Very powerful lineup here for Aurora. Lots of comfort.
the only one bound by these chains.
There's the Phoveus.
That was a purple guy we were looking for. It didn't appear here. But then again, Fnatic Onyx says, you know what, this guy's good. We're gonna use him.
What an adjustment by FNOP, man, to pick up the Phoveus that was eventually left open. Again, folks, Arlot in 5 games this season is winless against Phoveus.
Straight?
Yep.
Really?
Arlott has never won against Phoveus this season.
This
the
season,
heck?
including. Oh, okay.
I mean, it's just mechanics. They just counter. It just counters, right? It's a counter, straight up. So I wonder what they're gonna do about it, especially for FNOP, who are really mechanically gifted as well. My goodness. All right, this is gonna be a banger here. Throw it over to our casters, Leo and Naisu, to give us the action on the field.
Many gratitude, gentlemen. Nice one, Leo, at your service. Call in the bout, game number 4. Something dawned on me.
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
For a majority of Fnatic Onyx, this is their first best of 7 in their career. Oh yeah, consider that. And that loss in game 3, which looked like a win in, a portion of it, suddenly they have to deal with that reset.
I feel like that was, I don't know, in a way, like, it's a good check for them, like a reality check throughout this series of best of 7, because, like you mentioned, this is also a mental test, for the lineup. I mean, on both sides too. I know there's obviously some experience over here for Aurora individually, but essentially that's what a best of 7 is. I mean, we saw a glimpse of this yesterday in our first best of 7 for the lower finals.
That's right.
And you can really see how things adjust where you're in that first half of the series, and now, as you start to get towards these later games, you're going to see that adjust. But I love what Renmar has pointed out about that matchup alone between the Phoveus and the Arlott.
That's right. We'll see it now. For a couple of times this playoffs, it was alluded to, but eventually it would have switched out. But here for sure, it's Edward versus Kirk.
They're going to go for this again.
Hitman!
Revitalize might not be enough.
No.
And Renegade will go down in that first blood, going in the hands already here for Brusco.
A Hylos may be stout. A Hylos may be durable, but not against 3. Not early in the game, not under 2 minutes. And that should open up this turtle for Fnatic Onyx, putting them about a 500, 600 gold here before the turtle spawns. But you also got to consider, this is Asuyo. So again, the whole Sever plus Retribution combo,
Yeah.
you got to consider that.
Yeah, it's deadly. You know what? I'm just going to throw this out there too. They want to play in the fact that they just want to go in mid. Actually, Infernal Pursuit going to be dropped down. Queller fired off as well, but Renegade falls for the second time at the 2-minute mark here. Now, this is the clear sign for FNOP to take this turtle here, unless Edward tries to do something. He's going to take a couple shots once again. Kirk dunking on him, but ultimately securing this first turtle of the game.
Amazing how this 4-man rotation from Fnatic Onyx Philippines are able to just control this northern half of the map, the upper quarter. And that will allow for them to, I don't know, orange Uber their way into an early game advantage. Because now look, they're sending all their dudes down to the bottom. It's Doming's turn for a little bit of attention. Let's talk about that matchup right now. Doming versus Kelra, the Moscow versus the Harith. This is a matchup that was actually switcheroo, right?
Yeah.
It was the Harith on Doming more often, and then Kelra rocking
That Moscow.
that Moskov. That's got to be trippy. That's got to be a tempo swing for sure for Fnatic Onyx.
Yeah, and I think it's funny how this series alone, it's been, hold on, Kurt jumping in once again, Infernal Pursuit, but yeah, so going back to it, I think, the gold laners themselves, man, here, Leo, have been really, in a way, like low-key, where they've dealt with a lot of pressure because of the way the junglers on both teams play, but then they also shine when they're supposed to, which is that mid to late game when we've seen these games get to that point. And I would honestly say that Doming and Kelro both have had great games when they finally get there. I mean, think about, hold on again, where's Pathway? This is just going to cut him off.
It's an ult for an ult.
Think about what Doming did last game, how he adjusted after getting constantly killed from King Kong solo.
On that same hero.
Yeah.
On that Moskov. And he's taking that same momentum, that same experience and wisdom from that tempo break against Fnatic Onyx, from that first game they scored in the series. And they should be off to a good start, but so far, Fnatic Onyx are choking down on every single lane they have their eyes on. Again, for the first 2 minutes, it was top. Now it's down bottom, and Renegade is forced to play babysitter.
Yeah, you kind of have to at this point. Just with the way that FNOP's moving around the map, you don't want, again, the same course of action for Doming in the early game. You want to have him have a better time, I would say, farming up, getting to where he needs to be. Second turtle is up here, though. They'll go ahead and start this one up.
Fnatic scored the last one. Renegade dropping the course pathway to the back.
Already dropped down, still going for it. Spear Destruction gonna land Renegade there amidst it all. Still, the turtle, though, goes in the hands of King Kong. Renegade falls again, and now looking for more here in the mid lane. UA will slide on through and get out. Good push, though, up top from Domeng to get some extra gold.
All of the energy shields are popped and just in time, too. That's going to allow Aurora to keep that gold lead down despite losing out on both turtles. Edward!
Whoa, that is a whole lot of damage. Good thing he had to burn the flicker. I mean, one hit, he would have been gone.
Mr. Consistent, ever vigilant, keeping himself alive but barely. That does allow for Doming to push in. I think that's why Edward was just really throwing himself and just saying, no, look at me.
I'm here. It's all part of the plan.
Psych, my boys pushed up top. So that is the first turret casualty for Aurora, which should open up the map, giving Doming the green light to switch up down bottom, but too little too late. Already traded for by Fnatic Onyx. Up
Here's
top,
the answer, though. They're going to put some pressure on Renegade. Glorious Pathway drop down again, but they want King Kong this time. And UA will be the one to get that. Demon Kite wants to get that orange buff. Doesn't get it. Kelro will clean it up. Kirk, Super Prince now on the counter play. There's the jump in from Brusco as well. Looking for more. Edward, the first to fall. UA going to be the next target. Has to flicker out. And it's FNOP looking to fight back, punch back on this side of the map. UA dropping down. The RWM gets taken down under the turret with Kirk. An infernal pursuit between Tier 1 and Tier 2.
And this hole started in the Tier 2 up top for Fnatic Onyx, and they ran down Aurora. By hook or by crook, they were going to get something out of that exchange, and it eventually converted into a turret down mid. Final turtle spawning. Lower quarter, Doming's in trouble.
Doming, how are you going to get out of this? Kelra firing off. Brusco, he goes over! Great use of the flicker to dodge the unbreakable taunt.
And the dash. He layered both. Amazing work
That's
by the
distance.
next standard. He straight up changed the zip code. Hand this man a new passport. Oh, SOD.
No, he doesn't take that.
Not gonna happen.
Would have been amazing if somehow that spear also got the turtle. Talk about a moment.
Was along the way. But Quesara, Aurora happy with the exchange, happy with keeping Doming alive and keeping this gold lead to a manageable 2,000, 3,000 AOG.
Gonna jump in once again. Renegade, the target, using the revitalized. The glorious pathway won't be enough. Man, Renegade's having a hard time on this Hylos pick. He's just, I mean, most of the glorious pathways have been all defensive.
That is an understatement. His Hylos suffered a first blood death. He's been putting up glorious pathways to eventually just still die anyways.
It's not very glorious.
It's not very glorious, and in front of his dad too. Mr. Bacarse is here supporting his son, and I'm pretty sure he understands that his son is doing his best, but Renegade, he said in an interview, I'm gonna give it my all. In that grand finals tomorrow, I'm gonna give it my all. And if by giving his all, he has to die along the way, then so be it. I'd rather see Renegade at 0-4 than Doming at 0-4 too.
Final slash gonna be used. Demon Kite there to try to help them out, turn this tide around. UA still holding on to the RWM, and it looks like they'll just back off. Not a fight that they want to take here. They know they're outgunned from Fnatic Onyx Philippines.
That's what that 4,000 gold lead gets you. And now, Kelra's having his way with these turrets. Top lane Tier 2 down. And that's the long lane completely managed by Fnatic Onyx. Bore down on. Look at this gold lead on the XP lane. Kirk up by about 1,500. That's huge.
It's a massive game.
How many stacks on that Thunderbelt?
Does this not pay true to the stat that Redmar's talking about?
You just can't win.
The R-Lot is winless against the Phoveus. The stats don't lie, and now the gold lead is showing just how much use and value a Phoveus can bring to this game, especially with a lead like that.
Almost half of the gold lead is on Kirk alone. And he's a frontliner. He's a peeler for Fnatic Onyx Philippines. And that's going to allow them to bully Renegade out of position. Demon Kite struggling to score anything major here in this 10-minute game. Lord spawning here, lower quarter, it's a shuffle.
Shuffle once again. Still going to keep it together here. Super Prince looking for his positioning. Demon Kite just firing off the Queller. Waiting for his moment. Spirit of Destruction is going to come in. There's the glorious pathway on the Grestion. Kelra goes in. They're caught in a bad position as Domain goes down. Once again, Kirk dunking on him. Renegade falls. Edward on the run. And with 2 members down of Aurora, this is a clear sign for the Lord.
It's a 3 for 4, and they're not taking that exchange. 3 members for Aurora, 4 for Onyx. Just the sheer numbers don't add up, and that's what's gonna allow Fnatic Onyx to take this clean. And look at Demon Kite, just taking what he can on the map, trading up for that orange. King Kong, a step ahead, does the same.
I'm wondering, Leo, if maybe with this game, maybe the way that we saw King Kong do this back in game 2, maybe Demon Kite can play the map. Maybe work enough around the map to try to keep them in the game here for Aurora. But I think part of that is, again, do you let Domeng push those side lanes? Do you let Demon Kite do it?
Here's the thing. You want both of them to get some level of farm. You want both of them to somehow affect the map. But you can't do 4 in 1. So you have a paradox. You have a little pickle, if you will.
Yeah.
So I would suggest you keep Doming with the group. Let King Kong go hunt for Demon Kite, much like this. Because Demon Kite can actually
Go
duo.
1-on-1?
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to
no,
duo
no,
here.
not like
Spirit
this.
out, that's too much! I guess DK can't go 1v1.
I mean, he thought, and he learned the hard way, stepped into the lair of the beast, and found himself belly up.
Oh, this is trouble, because right now, the focus here, the base of Aurora, without Demon Kite, they'll clear out the Lord. The jump's coming through from Brusco. The setup from Super Prince with the RWM, and the response from UA as well. Brusco finally going down. That might be what they look for again. King Kong taking a couple shots, working on that tier 2 in the mid. Right now, that's all they get. Looking to pop the Holy Shields. They do on the top and the mid. Lurking on this bottom side. FNOC, though, getting what they can off that first Lord.
This gold lead is going to get out of hand. No more outer turrets for Aurora. So from about 5,000 expected in the next minute to go up to 6. Next Lord spawning here, lower quarter, same spot. 70 seconds. Okay, change of plans. Maybe it's got to be Doming. Maybe you let Demon Kite kind of roam around with the group and then have Doming not exactly cross the river and just farm up.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, wow. Renegade's been a punching bag. You know, this is another way to say the Hitman right here. He's taking the damage.
He's getting hit, man.
He's getting hit.
It's what he needs to do. And the fact that he stopped at 0 and 5 means he's kind of put it under control. I mean, at the cost of their turrets.
Yeah.
But as the minutes pass by, all the more the reality of a comeback can happen. Yue, Demon Kite holding this bush, spot by Brusco.
Brusco taking a couple shots from that Soul Sever too, and you know, they're doing what you just mentioned. You know, let Domeng push some of those side lanes if he can, but still he has to take a foot of caution when he does it because of the fact that there's the initiation even from Brusco to cut him off.
That's right, and there's an AOG. So, Fnatic Onyx, they're like an octopus right now. You know, like, you know that an octopus is distracted because it's playing with this little Rubik's Cube over here.
So we evolve from Sonics. Oh, hold on, Kirk, still gonna be going. Kirk in trouble. They're clapping down Brusco in front of it all. Renegade cutting him off with the glorious pathway. And that's a defensive jump with the Avatar of the Guardian. Keeping them together. They're going to reset. Could it be? Lord still worked on here. Is this a moment for Aurora to secure an objective?
Oh, no more key ults for Aurora. And Renegade's very low.
Renegade in trouble. He was actually committing to it. And they're going to fight it out. Kelra wants to go. He's working on Edward. He'll get a double kill. And that was all once again started from Aurora when maybe they didn't have to do that because now the Lord goes in the hands of Fnatic Onyx.
They had no ults. Fnatic Onyx technically were just down on TKOs, but they were chunky enough to force fights. And the fact that Kelra never left the scene, that changes the landscape, the face of this fight. And now Fnatic Onyx inside the base.
Already inside the base. A jump through Yue, trying to buy some time, keep the turret alive. Yue goes down, they hold on to that base turret. They still have to worry about this Lord push though. So maybe that bought them a few minutes here or a minute at best, but they're gonna have to get ready. They're gonna have to buckle in for this massive push from FNOP with a massive lead on top of it.
They got to hunker down. And I got some bad news for all the Auroras watching all around the world. Aurora has a less than ideal clearing lineup. Their wave clear is on the lower scale. They only have Yue. Yue is the only one who can really clear these waves quick. Maybe Demon Kite if you consider it. But all of them have to kind of punch these waves manually. The old-fashioned way.
And they might even have to use like a final slash in a certain situation to help clear them and manage them the way they
That too.
against this Lord push.
That too. Very important. So you gotta consider, do I use the ult for the fight to deter a push, or do I use it against the wave? Lord knocking on top lane. In comes Brusco.
Jump in from Brusco into the final slash. Double reward. Minute drop down, and Edward already gone out of the picture. Renegade gonna be next. Kelra gets a double again. Looking for the triple on Yue. Goes in. Kirk cleans it up. Triple for Kelra, and Domeg tries his best, but it's not gonna be enough. As he goes down, it's a wipeout. Fnatic Onyx Philippines clears up, cleans up the game, and gets to match